Hello, everyone, and welcome back. As always, I'm your girl, Candy Washington. And before we dive into today's kiki, which is Kyle Richards has no friends. This chick has no friends. Even the other people on Bravo, even other housewives, Jeff Lewis, are coming out and calling her a big fat liar when it comes to how she got to this stick skin, bony, looking like a 12-year-old boy, random weird selfie picture in the image. But is Melissa Gorga really one to talk when it comes to getting a little bit of help and changing the way that you look? But before we dive in, and I do have the clip from the interview that Jeff Lewis did with Melissa when they talk about it, so we can talk about that. But before we dive in, I wanted to remind you guys that we also do self-care and self-love content on the channel, so check out those videos. Also, be sure to check out the description box down below where we have our newsletter. Be sure to sign up for it. You get a free self-love guide. We have self-love courses, podcasts, movies, books, and more. So be sure to dive right on in. So now that we have that out of the way, let's get into it. So, as we know, there has been all of this controversy, all of this conversation around whether or not Kyle is taking Ozempic. And as we know, Ozempic, along with it's like Wegovy, there's another one called Mounjaro, whatever it's called. Essentially, they are these diabetic medications for people who have diabetes and for people who are really obese. And Hollywood, the wealthy, and the elite have been scooping it up in order to lose a lot of weight very, very quickly. Now, Kyle has denied claims of this, but we all are kind of calling liar, liar, pants on fire. But let's read the Paychex article and then we can listen to the interview clip as well, because I have it. It says Melissa Gorga thought Kyle Richards used Ozempic for body transformation. Melissa Gorga admitted that she also thought Kyle Richards used the diabetes-weight loss drug Ozempic to transform her body. I'm not going to lie, when I first saw her, I was like, oh, she's taking that stuff. Gorga 43 said on Sirius XM Jeff Lewis Live on Thursday. The Real Housewives of New Jersey star said she later changed her mind after Richards, 54, publicly denied using Ozempic last week. And then when she said that, I'm like, oh, okay, maybe not. I don't know her. I didn't even know to text her and ask her. Gorga admitted. Wait a minute. Oh, she says, oh, I don't know. I for a second, I thought she was going to say, I don't know her. And I was like, girl, you were playing I don't know her. Weren't you guys on Ultimate Girls Trip together? Anyway, let's keep going. So, however, host Jeff Lewis wasn't buying that the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star never used the popular drug. I think what she did is probably went off of it to be like, I'm not on it. So she's not technically lying, Lewis 52 said, adding that he didn't believe Richard's explanation that she cut out carbs, alcohol, and sugar from her diet. Now listen, side note, I'm with Jeff Lewis on this one because I always have to squint and I always really listen to what people say. And there have been two theories on how Kyle has tried to wordsmith her way out of lying about getting help losing the weight. The first one was she kept saying, I've never taken Ozempic. She never said, I never took injectables. I never took a diabetes medication. I never took this type of injectable to lose the weight. It could have been Wegovy, whatever it's called. It could have been Mounjaro. So people were saying the fact that she was being hyper specific was also a way to not technically lie. And then Jeff Lewis brings up a good point. You could be like, I'm not on it at this second. I'm not taking it this moment. I went off it and then I'll get my injectable next week. So she's trying to be like wordsmithy, very Meredith Marks of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I didn't say sexual favors. I said favors. Girl, bye. We all know the implications, right? So I'm with Jeff Lewis on this one. He goes on to say, I love her, but it's not just drinking since January. I mean, come on, the radio personality said, while Gorga chimed in that Richard's quote looks great. Shut up, Melissa. You would think she looks great given the, freaking, I don't even know, build a body bear that you are. Gorga, who previously owned up to getting a nose job, occasional fillers, and Botox, and implied she had never tried Ozempic herself, but she did admit that there are people in her, quote, inner circle and, quote, family members who use the viral drug. This is the thing. I don't think Melissa has ever used Ozempic necessarily, but do I think she's gotten liposuction? Yes. Do I think she's gotten some type of sculpt, contouring, reconstructive stuff? 100%. I don't think that, Melissa, I don't think your body is also just made in the gym either. You know, if you got the nose jobs, if you got the Botox, if you got the fillers, if you got the lips, it's not that far off to say you got a little bit of, nip and a tuck and all of that stuff. So I don't think you're being honest about everything you've gotten. I think your body is probably liposuction out the 9, sculpted out of the 9. And I think the only reason why you're not on Ozempic is because you prefer a different body type. Like, there are the girls who want to be like stick skinny, emaciated, walking around looking like, prepubescent children, a la the Dorit's of the world. Erica Jane at this point, because Erica Jane even lost a lot of weight. She's probably, taking the injectables too, Kyle. So you have the people who want that very like emaciated, skinny, rail thin model look, right? And then you have the other people who want that, they want the curves. They kind of want the butt. They kind of want the boobs, but they also want like the flat stomach, the chiseled, like all of that. Again, it's being sculpted. It's being sucked out. It's not real. It's still fake. So whether you use the Ozempic or whatever to get the skinny body, or you're sucking it out and you're nipping it and you're tucking it, your body is still built. You still build a body. So miss me with that, Melissa. She goes, they're turning into stick figures, and like, I'm not about that, Gorga said. I like more of a womanly figure like Jennifer Lopez. To me, that's a body, right? A build a body. Let's just leave it there. Jennifer Lopez, don't come after me. Now, it goes on to say, Lewis, on the other hand, confessed that he's been looking into a prescription and even claimed he found one option of 3 months for $1,300 to lose 10, 12, or 14 pounds. We're going to listen to it because I have the recording of the interview, so we can play that, okay? Gorga, who became close friends with Richards after starring on season 1 of The Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip together, commented on the drug just days after the Halloween Ends actress shut down rumors that she used Ozempic to achieve her new bod. Instead, Richards said she simply changed her diet. Kyle, you're lying. And this is the sad part. Kyle in the past has admitted that she suffered from an ED, right? So it's tough because you know that this is someone who has struggled, because obviously these type of disorders they're mental and emotional, and they manifest physically, either through not eating or binging and purging, like all of that stuff. I don't want to say too much on it. I don't want to trigger anybody or anything like that. So it's tough because it's like, we have people like Jackie from The Real House of New Jersey who said it's nothing but an ED in a needle. And we know that Kyle has suffered from an ED in the past and all of this stuff. So it's like, is this considered a relapse? You know what I mean? Like, if she was just starving and not eating, that would be a relapse. But I think the situation I'm looking at right now is some form of a relapse. This isn't healthy, and I'm not age shaming by any means. Like, Martha Stewart is 81 and this chick is glowing. She's dipping it and she's doing it. Karen Huger has her happy in her nest and she is dipping it and doing it. So I'm not age shaming, but Kyle turned 54. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. Let me not even go down the age road, because there's probably a lot of, I don't know. But I don't say like the age shame, but I'm just like, there's something going on with Kyle. Like, there's something like, we need to talk about Kyle, right? Anyway, she goes, I started losing weight and I felt so good. She shared on a 2 T's in a Pod podcast on Monday. I was like, why go back to that? So I still have not had alcohol at all. And I have a bite of birthday cake here and there, but that's it. The reality star added. Meanwhile, so basically, see, this is again, the type of restricted eating she's referring to is also a form of an ED. You know what I mean? Troubled eating, distorted eating, restrictive eating is also a form of an ED. And that's exactly what her BFF Teddy was basically sued for. Wasn't Teddy's All In with Teddy? Wasn't her coaching company being like sued or something because the women were like really unhealthy, and she was it was like very culty, like you can only have 500 calories and you better clock in and you better be working out and all of this crazy stuff. It was very, very culty. And isn't it also very pyramid scheme, like multi-level marketing scheme as well, like this level of coaches make this much money and you have to recruit other people under you? Yeah, Teddy stuff is very culty and very not good. So shut up, Teddy. Meanwhile, Gorga's Real Housewives of New Jersey co-star Jackie Goldsnyder, who has publicly shared her lifelong struggles with an ED, recently condemned Ozempic, writing it's an ED in a needle. Exactly. Yeah, Teddy, girl. Shut up, Teddy. If she's following your plan, we have some issues. Now, I'm going to play sorry. I'm going to play a snippet of the interview that Jeff did with Melissa. Let me know if you can hear it. Let me know if you can hear the audio, okay? But I'm going to play it so you guys can hear it in the context in which it was given. Okay? Here we go.
By the way, so
Thanks. I'm layered because I'm hiding about 9 pounds.
Oh, stop.
Yeah. But we were talking about today, I mean, we're getting to the point where I told you, I'm like, Ozempic Manjaro for maybe a month.
No,
just to
are you
lose
gonna do
like
it?
the 10, 12, 14 pounds before I start filming again.
Okay, but it has to be prescribed, right? So
I have it. Well, yes, but I have a doctor, $1,300 for 3 months. Wow. That's all I need. I just have to lose like 10, 12,
See,
14.
I don't know how I feel about this stuff. And I know a lot of people in my circle and like family members. And there's a lot of people obviously on it right now. And they are turning into like stick figures. And like, I'm not
it's
about
like intervention time. I'm telling my friends, like, you gotta stop now. You're good.
My one cousin is skinny to begin with. And like, I'm like, your ass is gone. And she's like, thank you. It's like, she takes it as like, I can't get skinny enough. I'm like,
but I know 2 women, gorgeous women, that now look like little boys.
Right.
They lost their ass, they lost their tits, they're just too much. And their legs, they're like stick figures.
Yeah. And I never really liked that. I always liked like more of a womanly figure. Like Jennifer Lopez, to me, that's a body.
Yeah. I like curves. I like
curves.
Okay, so this is important because a story came out today, and this is really a public service announcement for the Jeff Lewis Live listeners.
So there's a few doctors who are now coining the term Ozempic face. They're saying that these girls are getting, and men in case, are getting too skinny, and then they're losing the natural filler in their face. So you have that hollowed out skinny face.
I've got someone for that.
And so now these plastic surgeons are saying all these girls come in and they want filler for the first time in their life because they've been on Ozempic too long.
Wow.
So here's my theory. I think this is very misleading because remember, there was story after story how the diabetics can't get their medication because all the rich vein people are buying up the diabetic drugs,
which you're about to do. But yes, exactly.
Like everyone in Beverly Hills probably has like a year's supply of Ozempic. Right. So now the diabetics can't get their medication,
which is terrible. That's not good.
It's just really bad. But I mean, everybody looks so good.
I know.
So I think.
And didn't Kyle just come out recently and say she is not, because she lost a lot of weight, say she does not.
I think what she did is she probably went off of it and be like, I'm not on it.
Oh.
So she's not technically lying.
About yesterday.
She's not technically lying.
I'm not going to lie. When I first saw her, I was like, oh, she's taking that stuff. And then when she said that, I'm like, oh, okay, maybe not. You know? I don't know.
Look, I love Kyle. She's my friend, but it's not just not drinking since July. Come on.
Yeah, she looks great.
We've all done that. We lost a little weight, but we didn't lose 25 pounds.
Yeah.
But she's another one, like, for those of you that have ever seen Kyle in person, she's little before. And she looks like normal on TV, but she's little in person. And all those Beverly Housewives, like Adrian, everyone, so little in person when you meet them. And then you're like, damn, that camera adds 15 pounds, not just 10. That's why I got to go down to probably, today was almost 199. I think I need to go down to like 162 before I start filming.
Well, you know what? I will tell you, everyone
will be the same.
Looks like you need to start taking those shots then. Like, seriously, when are you starting to film?
March.
Oh.
Yep. So there you have it. And a couple of things about that interview as well. I think Jeff Lewis recognizes Ozempic in another person, right? It's like a crackhead recognizes another crackhead. And so I think that's why he was calling BS on Kyle, because Jeff Lewis at least was honest and said, yeah, I've used it before. And quite frankly, I plan on using it again. Now, do I think it's ethical? No, because there are people out there who actually need this drug for survival and to have better health. But do I respect it? Yes, because at least he's telling the truth. At least he's being honest. At least he's not like, oh, you guys, all you have to do is starve yourself and look like this. Just stop eating carbs and, just, walk, eat some almonds, take a couple of bites of birthday cake. Ridiculous, So I don't condone what he's doing. I still think it's unethical. I also still think it's dangerous with all of the side effects, Ozempic face, and I'm sure there's a litany. There's normal side effects of taking medicine when you actually need it. There's normal side effects of an actual medicine when you actually need it. So imagine the side effects when you're just willy-nilly taking, shots of whatever is in this diabetic thing or whatever, right? Imagine those side effects. So to me, it's unethical. It's also very dangerous, but I got to respect Jeff Lewis because at least he's being honest. And like I said, one crackhead recognizes another crackhead. And that's why he looked at Kyle and was like, girl, you lying. I know you on it because I know what it looks like to be on it and you're on it. You know what I'm saying? So for that, I do believe Jeff. I do. I know he can be problematic. I know he can be shady and shisty. But I think when it comes to the injectables and the fillers and the nips and the tucks, I kind of have to believe Jeff on this one. Melissa also said it too. Oh, she must be on it, So we'll see with that. But I want to know what you guys think, and stick around my candy canes because I want to take some of your candy cane questions and comments. But before we do that, I want to know what you guys think. Put it down below. Do you think that this is just more confirmation that Kyle is out here lying and being, shot up with these injectables? Also, word on the street is that Erica Jane is on them as well as a lot of other, celebrities and people and all of this, that, and the third. Erica, maybe you should put that money towards your legal fees, but that's just me. And what do you think about Melissa? Does Melissa really have a leg to stand on? Because she's pretty much a build a body just the way Kyle is. She may not be taking injectables, but I don't think her body is just, from hitting the gym and eating some protein. Like, I don't think that either. So what do you think about Melissa talking? And do you believe Jeff? Do you think he's right? Do you think that Kyle is on it and she's lying? Or do you think, Jeff, you don't know what you're talking about. You shouldn't say that. Who knows? I personally, I believe Jeff. And I don't think Melissa really has a leg to stand on. And Kyle, we need help. We need an intervention when it comes to Kyle. This is giving ED vibes all the way around. Because to me, even taking the shot, if you are not a diabetic, to me is a symptom of having some type of disordered view of yourself, and you're willing to literally risk your life to lose weight. And to me, that's an ED. So I wonder what you guys think. Put it down there below. And go ahead and like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it when we go live. Stick around my candy canes. I am going to take your question and comments, but be sure to also check out the description box down below. Join our newsletter. You get a free self-love guide when you do, and check out our self-love and self-care courses down below as well. So with that, let's take some of your candy cane questions and comments. All right.